this is the longer vlog video from the shorter one I made on TikTok. And just quick backstory from that video. I ran across a video on TikTok from a woman claiming that the only diagnosis that is not pardoned from everything and anything is borderline personality disorder. This is just simply not true. This is not only ignorant to state, but it's also vastly disrespectful towards everyone else. Because no one is pardoned. I'm sorry that you live in the delusion that we are, but we're not. And no, it's not harsh to say that she's living delusionally, thinking that everyone else is pardoned. It's not harsh. It's reality. It is delusional to think that anyone would be pardoned based off of their diagnoses by everyday society. Mental health awareness is not something that bases off the fact that any one of us is accepted, because we're not. And here's the problem with mental health awareness. People say that we have mental health awareness, but if you're looking out into the reality of it, we don't. We've got more mental health issues now than ever before. It's because of the fact that now you're allowed to say it. We just don't give a shit. Society just don't care. So the problem now is the fact that, okay, so you've got a mental health disorder. Great, good for you. These are the different things you can do to get help. These are all the same things that we are never going to grant you. And we also expect you to just do whatever we say. You're supposed to have a normal job, even though you cannot handle it. You're supposed to have a normal social network, even though you cannot handle it. You're supposed to go to school just like everyone else. You better get good grades. I don't care if you can't handle it. Society forces you to handle it. So when you say, but I need help to fix this. I need help to get through this, to actually get better. Okay, so here's a pill. You get to talk to this psychiatrist for 1 hour every other week. But we're only going to grant you this for 3 months. And after that, we expect you to be healed. We expect you to be healthy. Now we expect you to just go out into the world and just do anything and everything that we consider is to be the normal way. That is mental health awareness today. When I grew up, mental health awareness was, okay, so you're not talking to a handbag, you're fine. If you had ADHD when I grew up, you were just lazy, unmotivated, and just didn't want it. If you had CPTSD or PTSD, you were just overly sensitive and needed to shut the fuck up. Even women, when I grew up, were supposed to man up. Women were supposed to young girls were not allowed to say anything if the boys in the class or even male teachers looked at them or touched them in a way that was vastly uncomfortable. We were not allowed to say anything, because if we did, I can guarantee you that your teacher, man or woman, would tell you that the boys are only looking at you or touching you or spanking your ass because you've got tight pants on, because you've got a short skirt on. Dress better and they'll stop. Yeah, we were victim blaming like shit. This is also why millennials get pissed off over the fact that, no, we did not have it easier. No one had it easier. Not the generation before us, not the one after us. No one had it fucking easier. We've all had it tremendously horrible bad in different ways. No one had it easier. No one's life was better than the other ones. And no one grew up in a simpler time. Just give it a rest, people. Mental health awareness is also, first of all, we don't need a day for mental health awareness. We don't need a week, a month. We need to talk about it on a daily, regular fucking basis. We need it to be a part of society. And victim blaming everyone else because of your disorder is not helping. Because you're making it not only harder for yourself, you're making it harder for every other diagnosis as well. Because what you're doing is making damn fucking sure that society is going to say, you know what, let's not waste money on those people over there, because even other people with ADHD, with other disorders, say that they've got it so easy. We don't need to care then. You're making that happen by making those statements. If you don't like that statement, too fucking bad. It's true. It's true. It's the reality of it. awareness for your disorder, you're going to have to accept the fact that everyone else does too. Because no, we do not have it easier. We don't. We sincerely, we don't. Just live with it. If you can't, too bad. It's still true. And we also have to realize that everyday normal society will pretend like they give a shit. And I'm actually going to take one example, because this is something that severely pisses me off. People that abuse the system. People that pretend they have an issue that they don't, so they just don't have to work or contribute to our society. I'm going to take 2 examples, because this is unfortunately 2 real people. One of my friends, he will completely shut down if he goes to the grocery store. He'll be sweating through his goddamn fucking t-shirt because there's other people at the store. He specifically timed in directly in the morning, when they open, so no one else is there, or right before they close, so that barely anyone is there. Because going to the grocery store is one of the biggest anxiety things that he has to do. That's going to the grocery store. The sole purpose, the sole reason for this is because there's other people there. That's it. There is no other reason. He freaks out to the point where he feels like he's going to die. He has a panic attack and can't breathe properly because there's other people at the store, and the cashier asked, "Is that all?" That's why he freaks out. Because of his CPTSD connected to his ADHD. Okay? So he actually don't go out that much. He doesn't go outside. Yeah, unless he absolutely has to. He doesn't go outside. He's got a job that means that he works on his own 7 out of 8 work hours. Because that's the only way he can cope. That's the only way he can cope with having a job. Making damn fucking sure that he doesn't have to interact with people. So he's actually made that happen for himself. And I mean, good for him. No one fucking helped him. He had to do it on his own. However, there's also another woman, a woman I know, that's been completely living on financial aid for God knows how many years. She's never ever had a job in her life. And according to her, because of her severe social anxiety. Her severe social anxiety prevents her from having a job, ever. But her severe social anxiety does not prevent her from going to the pub once a week on quiz nights with about 50 to 100 people in there every single time. On a slow night, it's 50 people. On a good night, it's 100, 150 people in there. People are drinking, they're drunk, they're fucking insane, they're out of control. And she doesn't have any issues with it whatsoever. She doesn't even react. If someone were to start a tiny brawl right behind her, she won't even flinch. And her severe social anxiety also does not prevent her from volunteering, working for free at events which gathers tens and tens of thousands of people. One event where she was working volunteer work, she was not paid for this at all, had 35,000 people at that event. Didn't bother her at all. But she claims that her social anxiety is so bad that she can't work at all. She gets somewhere between 15 to 18,000 Swedish crowns every single month. Because she managed to manipulate the people working with this to believe her. If you have a minimum wage job in Sweden, you probably won't even make 15 to 18,000. I guarantee you ain't making 18,000 after taxes. But she makes about 18,000 after taxes on a good month. Do we understand how abusive of the system for the people that actually need the system this is? This is also a mental health awareness thing that we need to work against. We need to work towards. We need to stop people from abusing the system, because the rest of us had to go through severe analysis and tests and shit and doctor's appointment to even get a week off of the work that we are forced to have, otherwise we can't survive. We need to stop this. We need to stop pretending we've got a disorder we do not have. And we need to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, because yes, here's the harsh reality. What you want when you go off on TikTok saying everyone else is pardoned, just not my disorder, is that you want everyone to just, oh, you know what? You don't have to do anything for the rest of your life because you have that disorder. We can't do that. And also, if any one of us wants to have a goddamn chance in life, we need to actually make people understand what social anxiety, what CPTSD, PTSD, what ADHD, ADD, and what autism, emotional, neurological disorders actually are all about. People that are diagnosed with schizophrenia, I guarantee you their lives are basically over. But they still have the same demands as everyone else. The problem here is that the second someone finds out that you have schizophrenia, people won't even want to date you. I have this amazing friend of mine who's really suffering in the dating world because he wants to be honest about his problematics. So he says that he has schizophrenia. He's the sweetest guy I've ever fucking met. Any woman would be lucky to have him. Although he's a bit too young for me, so that's why I'm not dating him. And yes, that is what's called too much information. And also, for someone with ADHD, you guys would just feel guilty about, oh shit, did I just share too much? Was that not okay? It's okay to overshare. I stopped giving a shit if I overshare years ago. I stopped caring if I overshare about when I was 8 years old, because I really don't give a shit. If you don't want to hear it, stop listening. And when it comes to a video like this, I don't know, maybe fast forward, pause it, leave the video and stop watching. It's just a thought. If you don't like shit online, scroll by. If you don't like what someone is talking about, when you're standing in front of them, do you know what you can do, which is perfectly allowed to? Yes, it's going to piss off a lot of fucking people, but you're still allowed to do it because you matter. This is also mental health awareness. You matter. So if you feel like, okay, you just crossed my boundaries, you don't have to enforce them. You can just say, you know what? You just crossed my boundaries. I don't feel like I have the energy to explain to you why you crossed them. You just crossed them, and I have explained my boundaries to you before. If you haven't explained your boundaries before, just do it. Okay, so you know what? When you do that, it actually crosses my boundaries. So I would actually like if you would not do that. Please don't joke about that certain thing. I know I've never told you before, but don't joke about it. If they react with, what the fuck is your problem? It's just a joke. Well, how can you not just accept the fact that I'm joking? Okay, so this is a person who is never going to accept your boundaries. They don't give a shit. They don't care about you. Do not care about your boundaries, and they never will. I'm sorry, but it's as easy as that. But he's so cute, I don't care. But she's so sweet, apparently she's not. Just walk away. Just, nope, walk away. But this is also the thing, you matter. So you actually have the right to say, no, I don't want that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to joke about that. I don't want you to talk about that. I don't want you to joke about that. And if they refuse to let it go, you don't have to say anything more. They just proved your boundaries doesn't matter. So just turn around, walk away without saying a word. You are not supposed to over-explain your boundaries. You're supposed to enforce them. You are supposed to enforce them. Walking away from a conversation that you are not okay with, and you've actually been sweet enough to say, I don't want to talk about this, and I would want you to stop as well. If they still press on, turn around, walk away. This is not your crowd. Just walk away, honey.